hooking you in 5 seconds. What if the difference between a good pot roast and a legendary one is simply pouring in a beer at the right moment? Today we're tearing into the beer-braised pot roast, and why this kitchen hack actually unlocks deeper flavors, plus how to do it like a pro without turning your kitchen into a brewery. Let's break down the ideas, front to back, with real-deal reasoning you can actually use. What beer does to pot roast, and why it matters. Personally, I think the key idea here is flavor architecture. Beer isn't just liquid, it adds bitterness and acidity that carve through the rich meat and heavy gravy, which is why the final dish feels more layered than a standard braise. In my opinion, that bitterness isn't a flaw, it's the engine that keeps the palate from getting overwhelmed by fat. If you take a step back and think about it, that contrast is what makes every bite feel alive rather than heavy. Now, what makes this really interesting is how the liquid choice shifts the texture and balance. Darker beers bring roasted malt notes that echo the seared surface of the meat, while lighter beers fade into the background, almost like they're just supporting actors. A detail I find fascinating is how stout can introduce a creamier, nuttier texture that lingers on the tongue. What this really suggests is, your beer isn't simply beer. It's a flavor amplifier with a voice that either matches or clashes with the meat's savoriness. How to pick the beer, without overthinking it. From my perspective, you want a beer that deepens the pot rather than dominates it. One thing that immediately stands out is that darker beers, porters, ambers, Vienna lagers, tend to complement the roast by adding roasted notes and a sense of warmth. What many people don't realize is that you don't need a fancy import. A solid domestic dark beer can do the trick and keep the rest of your pantry flavors honest. I'd steer away from ultralight lagers if you're chasing depth, because the dish benefits from that malty backbone. If you're feeling bold, a stout like Guinness will give you a toastier, creamier finish that some diners will instantly recognize as special. If you want a smoother kiss of bitterness, a Marzen or Vienna lager can give you that autumnal, rounds-the-corners balance. When to add the beer in the braise. The timing matters more than you might expect. Add the beer after you've loaded the pot with aromatics, vegetables, and the seared meat. Let it simmer with the other liquids so the heat pulls the alcohol away while preserving the beer's character. This keeps the flavors cohesive rather than separative. In practice, think of the beer as a seasoning liquid that needs time to mingle with the beef's collagen and the herbs. The liquid ratio, how to keep everything harmonious. Chuck Hayworth's method, using beer as half of the liquid, with beef bone broth for balance, works because you're balancing two worlds, the beer's sweetness and acidity with the savory, mineral notes of the broth. What this achieves is a more rounded final product where the beer doesn't feel, in every bite, as much as it supports the overall savoriness. If you want a practical quick start, aim for equal parts beer and broth to begin, then adjust as you go based on how the pot looks. A thicker sauce is often more satisfying with a pot roast, and that extra body typically comes from that broth-beer balance rather than more liquid alone. Seasoning, don't skip the aromatics. Bill Peet's guidance is simple but powerful. Thyme, bay leaf, and a touch of Dijon mustard lift the braise beyond basic meat and potatoes. My take, every braise benefits from a bright, sharp note to cut through the richness. Dijon adds that tangy kick without stealing the spotlight from the beer. What this really shows is that the beer is a great backbone, but the supporting cast, herbs, acidity, and fat balance, pulls the performance together. Practical takeaways you can use tonight. Choose a dark beer that complements your roast flavor profile. Think porter, Marzen, or Vienna for depth, or stout for a creamier finish. Add beer after you've built your flavor base in the pot, and let it simmer with the rest of the braising liquid. Use beer as roughly half of the liquid, with beef bone broth filling the other half for balance. Layer in thyme, bay leaf, and a little Dijon to brighten the overall flavor. Don't skip the finishing steps that caramelize and reduce the sauce a touch so the beer's character remains present but not overwhelming. Deeper perspective, what this reveals about flavor chemistry. What this really highlights is how modern home cooking can leverage regional ingredients, beer in this case, to create more complex profiles without complicated techniques. The beer's bitterness and acidity act like a counterpoint to the meat's fat and umami, guiding the palate through a fuller arc. A broader trend here is embracing braising as a flavor architecture project rather than a simple meat plus liquid method. It's about balancing contrasts, sweetness from vegetables, sharpness from mustard, and roasted bitterness from dark beer, to craft something that tastes intentional and expensive, even on a weeknight budget. Closing thought. If you're cooking pot roast this weekend, I'd challenge you to treat the beer not as a flavor garnish, but as a structural ingredient. It's the backbone that lets everything else sing. My question to you: what beer are you curious to try, and how would you adjust the other aromatics to fit your chosen brew? Drop your combinations in the comments, and let's crowdsource the ultimate beer-braised pot roast.